This is one question that probably many people will ask: is where does the story pick up, or is it a totally different story? You said, you talked before, said before that it was not a reboot because you didn't, really
Hmm.
like the name. But uh, as for the other previous Thief games, where does the story pick up, or is it something completely different?
And so now we made the decision to have the story totally separate. It's a standalone story, so it's brand new. It's a new story, new thief, new Garrett. So basically, there's no correlation or connection between this and the earlier games. Anybody can play this game with no knowledge of the others and just enjoy it just as much.
Okay, you said it was our story at the end of your acting,
Hmm.
fantastic acting thing, and how can you manage to make Thief a game where it's the player's story when Gareth, the main character, is such a strong personality and has ideals and ideas
Hmm.
about, for example, not killing people. So how do you make a story that's the player's story as
Yeah.
you're writing the story?
I mean, the foundation of Garrett's character is strong. Obviously, the person who he is selfish, likably arrogant. He's very independent. He doesn't trust people. He doesn't socialize. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't be a part of that life with him. Now, it's a first-person adventure where you get to play Garrett's personal narrative. I mean, you're inside his head, so when he speaks to himself, he speaks to you himself. So you've actually got a window into his world, which is why I tend to say it's your story, because you're playing from Garrett's perspective. You're going to start feeling like him. So that's why I feel that it's still a very personal. It's an intimate narrative. I think that you feel like this guy.
So what kind of narrative techniques um are you using in the game, like to tell the story? Like, are we talking cutscenes or like
Okay.
books, or will we have like the same very nice interludes that made
Yeah,
the
we have
series
a
memorable?
few different styles that we use. I mean, a lot of the very strong emotional story comes through traditional cinematics, which is great because you see a perspective of yourself where your body language, the way that you use your mask, the way that you interact with some of the characters in the world. Of course, we have the first person story technique where you're speaking to yourself, and so you have an idea of what's going on in your mind. But there's a lot of environmental storytelling and what I call passive storytelling in the Thief universe. Like if you're big on exploring, you'll find books, diaries, newspapers, notes, things like that. If if you love sneaking around, you're going to hear a lot of things you're not supposed to hear. You're going to see a lot of things you're not supposed to see. So all of these different story techniques give you different ways of seeing the world and building up your own picture of it. So.
Okay, so one last question I've been told. So that would be about the new voice actor. I know you talked about that before. Could you explain how you met him and why you picked him over other people and probably the original voice
Yeah,
actor?
because when we first started, we knew it was a new, I said before, a new story, a new thief. So one of the things that we did was to bring in a lot of actors to see how they were, see how they moved, see how they spoke, how they interacted, and to sit with them on a personal level as well and say, how would you think Garrett would do this? There was maybe 25 male artists that we saw, and there was one in particular, Romana, that has had a really good casting session. And when we sat down on a personal level with a beer and was just saying, like, what, how do you imagine Garrett? How would you think? And Romana had some really interesting insights into Garrett, the character. So it was another way of the actor was bringing a little bit of something special as well, while staying true to this archetype, this wonderful character that Garrett is that you can't play in any other game.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.